Hello and welcome to KaiserReich. Now, this is a mod for Darkest Hour, a Hearts of Iron 2 game. So, we are going to play Canada. So, basically I'm just going to start the game, and then you'll be able to see what's going on. It's basically the scenario if Germany won World War One. It is a fantastic little scenario. It is brilliant. I haven't played it that much, but I thought, instead of like playing it a few hours on my own or something like that, why don't we both learn together? So we are playing the mighty nation of Canada, or Canada. Alright, let's pause the game, close and close. Okay, so what has happened to the world? Well, Germany is dominant. The German Empire is all-powerful. Let's just find diplomacy. Yeah, okay. There we go. The German Empire controls all of Germany, of course. It has the Netherlands, or... Well, Belgium as a puppet, but they are now known as the Flanders of Wallonia. We have Lithuania, a puppet. We have the United Baltic Duchy, a puppet. The White Ruthenia, also a puppet. And then Ukraine. As well, Germany has territory all over the place. There's Middle Africa, which is obviously German. We have German over here, German over here. Delhi, that's the new nation. Yeah, quite a few here. We also have a a German China, which is pretty interesting. So, what is our situation? Now, as you may notice, we are Canada. Now, Canada, in this time frame, is very different. In 1925, there was a uprising, a revolution in Britain, forming the Union of Britain, and the monarchy, 1925, was, it basically fled from the British Isles to Canada, taking with it some industrial capacity. Most of the British fleet, the Royal Navy, is now Canada. And let's just see here. I'm doing a very bad job of explaining this. So we have the three factions. We have Mittel Europa, which is the German Empire, the Entente, which consists of Canada, the Australasian Confederation, the Caribbean Federation, Delhi, and National France. And then we have an international, the Commune of France, and the Socialist Republic of Italy. Italy. So, also, the French experienced a revolution in terms of the Commune of France and the Italian Federation. Oh, no, and then we have the Socialist Republic of Italy. Yeah, so this is national France. This is the old France, the old regime in control of Africa. So the world is very different, and how we play is totally up to us. Now our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to retake the home isles. There's thousands of miles of hell to London, and that is where we need to go. So we're going to just turn down the game speed a little bit. I'm not familiar with the hotkeys, so you'll have to forgive me by going to these options. There we go. Right, return. Okay. So let's set our technology. So of course this is Hearts of Iron 2, so everything's a little bit hard and wonky. It's kind of difficult. Okay, let's find... So we'll take with Imperial Oil. They shall start the project into the product standardization. Construction will be okay, but our manpower is not too good. So manpower would be quite nice to have. It also increases our industrial efficiency as well, so that's quite nice. So we'll go for agriculture as well. The University of Toronto. Right, now we should increase our military. So it is 1936, most of our units will not be up to scratch, so we're going to start researching the 1936 infantry divisions and artillery. Or should we go for light tanks? No, we're going to go for artillery. Artillery, well, at first anyway. Artillery is fantastic for beefing up your units, it's really good. So go over here, Crown Motor Works, oh my god. My grasp of the English language is terrible. So we are building the HMS Triumph and the HMS Vengeance and 2 submarine flotillas. So that's interesting. We have a fleet to construct, I do believe. Let's see. We don't need that much, so, well, yeah. Well, I've left this in AI control. I kind of tweaked some of the options beforehand, so we'll see how that works out. So, We have a few armies. We're going to create this into the Ottawa Royal Canadian Army. There we go. So we have 4 divisions. Okay, that would explain it. It's with a large air force though. What should we give them? So we have infantry divisions, yeah. So these are 1931 infantry divisions, so they're not very good, to be honest. Actually, I'm going to have the cavalry, yeah, the royal, well, the Mounties, I believe, the Mounted Police, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, that's it, the Mounties. So we're going to have these guys to strategically redeploy over here. We can redeploy these infantry here. What do we have? Garrison, Royal Marines, unit of infantry. There we go. The Prince of Wales Division. No. Strategic redeployment. If I can do it properly. There we go. Off you go, chaps. So, we have a lot of ships here. We have a huge fleet. Yeah, that's a huge fleet. The Reserve Fleet, the KaiserReich Task Force, the Atlantic Fleet. So let's see, the Atlantic Fleet, HMS Queen Elizabeth, HMS Warspite, Barham, yeah, Valiant. This is a battle cruiser. Nice. HMS. Ooh, a few carriers there as well. And some heavy cruisers, and some destroyers, okay. So, what level is this port? This is a level 4 naval base, sorry. This is also a level 4 naval base, so we're going to base the Atlantic Fleet over here just for purpose. Actually, no, we'll base the carrier fleet over there. There we go. Yeah, rebase. Carrier Task Force, the Reserve Fleet is a few battleships, quite a number of battleships, some carrier escorts, light cruisers for days. Brilliant. Okay. Let's get this sorted. I just want to spread the fleets out just so it's a little easier to see what I'm doing. So we're going to rebase over here. The Atlantic Fleet can remain. Submarine flotillas, the Caribbean Squadron. Yeah. Okay. So we shall deploy the submarines over here in Charlottetown. We have some transport flotillas. Okay. Right, the Caribbean Squadron. Light cruisers and some destroyers. Not too bad. Right, so we have over here the Caribbean Federation. Can we rebase over here? We can. That's good. That's good. That's definitely pretty nice for us. What do we have on the other coast? We have transport, submarines, Pacific Squadron, light cruisers, some destroyers, and that's all we have on the west coast. Yeah. Okay. We also have a nice large air force, which is good. So as you guys can see, we have some considerable assets from the former British Empire. It still exists, but in a different light. So we're gonna start the game. Okay, there we go. Right here, so we have 50 money. We have no decisions to pass as of yet. Right. So we have an army in St. John. Other than that, this is our only real army. Okay, so KaiserReich, sorry, Legacy of the Weltkrieg. This is basically just telling you about who developed this and who made it. Fantastic people. Really wish I'd known about this mod a long time ago, and I'd known about Darkest Hour. Darkest Hour is, I like it. I like the Hearts of Iron 2 engine. It's quite good. It's just not quite as complex as the Hearts of Iron 3 divisional fight and that sort of thing. Okay, so tech, rocket test and research facilities available, rocket engine, turbojet engine, flying bomb, and flying rocket. A secret project has been born. Has borne fruit. Rocket engineers and heavy industrial contractors have joined forces. We have negotiated a deal for the commerce. Okay. Right, so that's the sharing of research within the alliance, the Entente. Okay. Special thanks. We can assume military control, which is pretty cool. Yep, they would absolutely give us control. So that's something we can bear in mind. Okay. Can guarantee their independence. We can also send them expeditionary forces, so that's good to note. Okie dokie, so we have some spare industrial capacity, I do believe. How much capacity are we using right now? Okay, so upgrades needs to be done. So we'll pull this back here. There we go. Production, yeah, we don't need much for production, so that's pretty interesting. So I think what I'll do is I'll build 3... maybe... Okay, we'll start with... Then again, I would like some motorized divisions, but we'll go for the infantry divisions. We'll go for 3 infantry divisions to begin with, just to start us off. Yeah, see how that's increased pretty much overnight there? Okay. It's not as easy to manage these, so we'll let the AI just take care of that. We are trading with National France, the Australian Confederation, the United States, and South Africa. Okie dokie. So we'll let time tick by. We'll wait for these strategic redeployments. One of them has just arrived. We shall merge these forces. So what do we have here? This division has medium armor. That's pretty good. We have some artillery over here. I'm not too clued up on this mod. I do believe the United States will, in time, have a revolution. I'm not too sure. Prime Minister. King's government now has a comfortable majority after the defeat of R.B. Bennett's Conservative Party and his British backers. But not all is secure. George V is growing steadily worse in his health, and despite his sickness, continues to oppose the moderating influence of the Prime Minister of the Canadian politics. Senile and obsessed with reclaiming the empire, George V lends credibility to the British exiles who now sit in the Canadian House of Lords, formerly known as the Senate before the Syndicus revolt, whose presence in the upper house threatens to endanger the Prime Minister's legislative programme. While Canada has grown strong by an influence of expertise, capital and technology, it remains an uncertain player on the world stage. The next few years of the King's government will decisively shape the country's future. How terribly exciting indeed. Okay, so it's really all to play for. We can reclaim the British Isles. I mean, let's see. They have a lot of industrial capacity, so we would like to do that. But it's not... We could try now, but we don't have the capacity as of yet. We don't have the numbers. We have the navy. We have a very strong navy. But I don't know how strong the Union of Britain is in terms of military. Yeah. And I'm not prepared to fuck about with them right now. I'd like to gain some power. I've enabled the option for full industrial capacity takeover, by the way, when you annex someone. I think makes sense, because it's like if you didn't gain the industrial capacity, it's like, what are you gaining? Obviously some would be destroyed, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like, well, all this stuff's still there, we could still do this. Other than that, not really changed too much. Kind of going to let the AI take care of our trading. There's not too much we need to bother with there. We couldn't issue some currency just to give ourselves some cash. It allows you to take some decisions then. The death of King George V. Ever since the Radical Union victory in Britain, King George V has been plagued by illness and health. Has been failing while the public has been unaware. Yesterday at 11:55 PM, King George V died from a bout of fever. The Minister HRM King George V is no longer available. Head of State is now Edward the 7th. Or 8th. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the 8th. Okay. Or was that correct? Let's see. I forget how you look at that. It's so out of the way. I can't remember. God damn it. I'm all for this. Alright, we're going to enable auto spam because I don't know what the hell to do. Where does it come under? Statistics, maybe? No. Oh, here we go. Right, yes. Yep, that's definitely free. Okay. German Empire had the remilitarization of Olitania. Right, so we have some policies over here. We're going to inch towards a standing army. Now, if you have a standing army, it gives you a lot of bonuses. It's a lot easier to take care of. We can only negotiate a deal for 1936 cavalry, transport plane 1926, basic dosimetric radar warning sights for nothing with the Australian Confederation. Fantastic. Yeah, this is the good thing about being part of a alliance. You can gain technology from them, which is pretty good. It helps you keep up. It definitely does help. Now, see how our manpower is already going down pretty rapidly? Yeah. We need 12 to reinforce to full capacity. To be fair, I'm going to put on hold these divisions for quite a while. We can't... Well, we don't really have the manpower as of yet. The heir apparent, with his father dead, Edward the Prince of Wales will be coronated King Emperor of the British Empire. Two large factions within the Canadian political sphere has coalesced. One led by the Prime Minister who seeks to develop and refine Canada's industrial strength and harvest resources over foreign policy, and the other led by R.B. Bennett and his supporters in the British diaspora, who wish to mobilise the Canadian economy to launch an invasion of the Union of Britain in the near future, even if that means accelerating arms production at the expense of civil liberties. The Prince of Wales is popular in both French and English Canada, and his views may very well sway the opinions of others. He could prove to be vulnerable to the argument of either group depending on how well they make it their case to him. Okay. So, the Prince sides with the Bennett and the Exiles. The Prince listens to his elected Privy Councillors. The Prince decides to support the Prime Minister for now. And the Prince decides it's not best to commit to either side. Yet. Okay. So we'd move towards authoritarian. Democratic. Let's take a look at this. Move you over here, Mr. Prince. Oh, damn it, I can't click. Do we want to go more authoritarian to conquer the Isles now? I think we do. We want to gear up for war. The Prince has sided with the Conservatives and has decided to make war with the UOB on an important part of his coronation speech. There we go. Make preparations for the grand coronation. Okay, let's go over here to diplomacy. So, authoritarian... less dissent, declaration of war dissent. Okay. Purge the army. Okay, partisan growth. Right. The coronation of the Prince of the People. The new king has been invested with the royal regalia in the First Anglican Church of Ottawa. Jubilant crowds from all over Canada gather in the cities to celebrate a new age of Canadian royalty. They eagerly anticipate the new king's first radio address to the nation. Whoopee. Fantastic. Okay, interventionism. Hawk lobby. The king's radio address. The king has spoken to the nation and has electrified it. From Vancouver to St. John, from Toronto to the Arctic. Canadians everywhere buzz with excitement after hearing a charismatic and forceful speech denouncing the syndicalism, and the King's pledge to finish the war that his father began and reclaim Britain. Canadians were warned to never trust the Union of Britain or its insidious syndicalist allies. Relations with the Union of Britain -100, relations with the Communion of France -100, 75, and Italy. Okay. Rightio. Just checking them out. Now, I don't know who they're allied with. God forbid they were to ally together, that would be terrifying. Then again, there is Germany over here that will keep them in check for now. Germany is our counterweight for the moment. They're our enemy, but they're not right now. So it's good. It's a good situation. Well, it's not really a good situation. It's an interesting situation, I should say. Afghanistan has declared war on Delhi. Oh dear. Okay. Delhi should be fine. I can't see them losing here. Really can't. We could assume control and fight this war ourselves, but there's no point. I think they've totally got this. Yeah, they should be fine. Okay. So I'll speed up time. Have it on fast. There we go. Return to the action. Okay. So we have our main army over here. Probably want to split some of these units off, just form a second smaller army. Yeah, the 1st Canadian Corps. We'll send them to Toronto. Now, an invasion of the US would be fantastic. There's a lot of industrial capacity here that we could take for ourselves. I do believe a civil war will erupt in America in time. I don't know when, I don't know how, but we just need to be ready to take advantage of it. Okay. So, we're making some good resources. Ah! There we go. Let's upgrade our fighter squadrons. Speaking of that, we should probably spread our air force out. Strategic bombers. Tactical bombers. Okay. Hello. Okay, let's see. What's happened over here? Yeah, so they're losing ground, obviously. We're going to decline. We're going to let the, let Delhi just basically annex them. I mean, why not? They started a war with no cause, and they have been defeated. Or they will be defeated for the greater good of the Commonwealth. Is Ibe a lion bang? I don't know how you say that. Dun, 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 dun. Caribbean Federation. So most of the colonies in the Caribbean were basically kept loyal to the monarchy. Egypt's independent. South Africa. Who does your allegiance lie with? No one. Can we open negotiations? Ah, this is basically for... Let's see if we can bring them to a line. So what we'll do is we'll go over here. We'll go to our... Convert convoys into transports. That's pretty good. Purge the army. National percentage changed by plus 2%. Land units gain 3% morale. We'll do that then. There we go. So we lost a few army leaders, but if it helps our morale in the long term, it may be worth it. We can always replace our leaders. Okay, so we're going to issue some war bonds. We'll gain a lot of money. War games. Let's play Darkest Hour. Okay, we'll do this. Increase skill. So we've increased our remaining general skill. Right, TO. Let's go down here to South Africa. See if we can bring them to the alliance. No. We'll try and influence them. There we go. We'll try and bring them into the Entente. Okay. So how's the war in Delhi going? Yeah, they've totally got this. They're not just at war with Delhi, they're at war with the Entente, so they're kinda buggered in that regard. Pretty much buggered completely. Okay, Admiral Betty's last request. Admiral David Betty, 1st Earl Betty, died today. Age 65, as the hero of the First Battle of Jutland and a member of the House of Lords, his opinion in naval affairs has still carried significant weight. The Admiral has always criticised the current Chief of the Navy, argued for his replacement with a British Admiral. Most of the House of Lords seem to agree with the late Admiral. The incumbent is a popular and competent man. Keep incumbent in the office. Put Admiral Chatfield in command. You know, this is for the glory of the Empire. Ireland asks for help. The Irish have asked for our support in face of British violation of their neutrality. This gives an opportunity to recover part of our sphere of influence and undermine the socialist activities in the region. Proclaim that Ireland is protected by the Entente. Announce our support for Ireland. We are not ready for such involvement in the old world. Hmm. So either way, we guarantee their independence. We'll go for our support of Ireland. We can't really commit to a war. Okay. Yeah, we've got some nasty dissent over here. Rightio. The Field Marshal. The new king is pressuring the Prime Minister to make a choice as to who will lead the forces of Canada. We must choose wisely. If we choose a Canadian man, then we could risk alienating the exiles, but we must also think of the future of Canada. This will not be easy. Iron sights. Research term Edmund is now available. Ah, interesting. Combined arms. Okay, this is interesting. I believe Mr. Ironside shall take us. The king was eager to begin the effort to retake England and throw the socialists into the sea. He insisted that the Royal Command Staff would be right course. Many Canadians believe that losing any control of his military would be an affront to Canadian sovereignty. The king is right, we need to work with the British, we do not need the British help. We need to work with the British. There we go. We're almost done our research. There we go. Let the money flow. Okay. I'd read that one, but you guys can pause and read it if you'd like. It's a lot to read. Oh, so they don't give us the technology, but they give us blueprints, whatever you want to call it. Basically, that'd make it a lot faster. Naval's mission type air scramble. Okay. Air decryption. What else do we have? 1936 cavalry. We shall take, actually. Ooh, skill 9. Let's see. We'll go with these guys. They've got the most skill. There we go. Ooh, we get a new team. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. Naval is something that we definitely need to invest in. CVs, 1937. Battleships. Let's bring our battleships up to date. We definitely need to maintain controls of the sea. Control of the sea. I don't know why I said controls of the sea. That didn't really make too much sense. Okay, anyway. We developed the 1936 Division. That's fantastic. Mounted Division, Airborne, Engineers, Logistics. Logistics could be nice. Naval. Well, we just gained the Mountainous Division. We'll go for the motorized, actually. There we go. I would like a very rapid unit or division. Well, a rapid army. Something to blitz the enemy. Capture terrain and, well, just capture territory very fast. Which is why I've kept this unit of cavalry here. Okay. JFC Fuller and his combined arms doctrine. A brilliant strategist and a fervent monarchist, John Frederick Charles Fuller has spent I can't talk. Has spent the years after the Entente's defeat in the Weltkreig developing a new set of land doctrines based on speed. Ah, see. Mechanization and combined arms doctrine. Inspired by the experience of the Russian Civil War, the nascent British Tank Corps, Fuller has now finalized his ideas and presented it to the new Field Marshal. So we shred this new path of armoured warfare? Right, roll out the tanks. Yes. Yes. Let's see. Land doctrines. So we are focused on mobility. I like this, I like that. Mobility is very, very good. If we can have a mobile army and a strong navy with good aircraft carrier support and battleship support, we should be able to take the fight to Britain. As well as any other nation that may challenge our sovereignty and power. Okay, what do we have over here? Product standardization, that's good. Ah, Delhi annexed Afghanistan. So there we go. Delhi's just become that bit more powerful due to the retarded options of Afghanistan. So thank you, Afghanistan. You've just strengthened us. You've strengthened the Entente. Right, doctrines. So we're gonna GFC Fuller. And again, Ironside would be pretty good too. Yeah, GFC Fuller. He'll do it faster. There we go. Declared war on Mongolia. There we go. See, he's working pretty fast. The new nation. Oh. Oh. That's pretty cool. So Delhi released Afghanistan. And they've been brought into the Entente. Fantastic. Arming the nation. The King's ascension marks the beginning of a new era. The ad hoc and difficult task of strengthening the Canadian industry. Integrating the Royal Navy and finding a place for the hundreds of thousands of British exiles has been a trying test for Canada, but we have survived the initial storm. We are stronger now, but now we must refine our strength so that we can equal those of the great powers. The Prime Minister and his government are therefore put together a comprehensive security and military bill that will address the various national interests facing Canada. The legislation will be known as Bill C7. Have the bill authored solely by the Liberal Party, made the bill a bipartisan effort. We'll make it a bipartisan effort. If we are all behind this, and that's good. We need the support of the Canadian nation. Okay. Bill C7, the future of Canada's industry. When the Great War began, the British Prime Minister Herbert Asquith said that industry would proceed as business as usual. The ensuing shell crisis and the difficulty found in equipping the British Army shown us that if another war would start, we will need a mobilised war economy. However, most businessmen aren't willing to invest in a specialised facility such as heavy bomber factories that such an economy require. Some Conservative MPs are proposing that the part of the security bill include a provision to immediately nationalise such key industries. While this wouldn't increase the size of our industrial capacity, it would cut down on a lot of red tape. However, the Minister of Munitions argues that the government subsidise the creation of such industries that entrepreneurs would lease at very preferable rates and provide the labour which would increase the number of factories, but limit their efficiency. By working in the private sector, some MPs are arguing for compromise, while the government will nationalise specialised industries that require a great deal of sophistication, while subsidising the more basic ones already in place. Okay, sided with the Tories, nationalise the economy. Uh, hmm. Interesting. So we gain industrial capacity here, and we also gain some efficiency. Well, we gain a lot there, but we gain a lot of efficiency if we nationalise. Hmm. Well, the thing is, we will gain industrial capacity as we conquer land, and we can also build our industrial capacity anyway. So I think what I would like to do is side with the Tories and nationalise the economy. Yes. Because as we take more... Yeah, see, now it's risen to 74. As we take more industrial capacity from other nations, we will ultimately gain more capacity, and if we have a higher efficiency, we'll be able to make better use of that capacity. Which is my belief, anyway. Now part... Reorganising the army. Oh god, there's a lot of reading in this. When the revolution succeeded in Britain, it forced Canada to become a senior member of the Empire. While Canada was able to seize the Caribbean, we were unable to secure the rest of the Empire and had to rely on Australasians to secure a perimeter around their territory. Many regard this as a result of our small army at the time. Many would like to resurrect the conscription bill. However, the Prime Minister is a liberal, blah blah blah. I can't bother reading this, it's too much. The text size is so small it hurts. The Tories may convince an argument for once we would gain much more manpower, conscription, but better conditions for soldiers. So we'd gain growth, but we'd also gain some. Okay, we'll have conscription, but better conditions as well. There we go. I don't like how this descends rising so quickly. Right, women's role in the army. Pause. Right. Outside this gives us manpower. Okay. Technology. So we finished already over here? Yeah. With these doctrines, we're gonna have... Oh, we're gonna be ahead. Really ahead. Yeah. This is gonna be fantastic for us. Okay. I think I'd like to construct some more ships, actually. Oh, Jesus Christ. Canada has been able to avoid the bitter class war that engulfed Britain after the Great War, but conflict between Anglo-Canadians and the British exiles is growing. Some of this has led to the development of several groups calling for rapprochement with the Union of Britain. The Tories want to crack down on these groups and propose that a new parliamentary committee be formed with executive power of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and a new civilian intelligence agency with Conservative MP Robert Manning as its chairman. Such a committee would be the first of its kind in Canada and would cut back on many civil liberties and union rights. Okay. Dove lobby. Okay. One towards authoritarian. We'll go middle ground. We'll go middle ground. I don't want an authoritarian society as such. Wow, we have... Why do we have so much in consumer needs? Okay. Obviously because we're not spending this correctly. Being upgraded, nice. Okay, as we were saying. Semi-modern heavy cruiser, improved heavy cruiser, Hood class, Queen Mary class, Victoria class. The bill has passed. Nice. Oh god. Scrap them for metal, sell them to Delhi, sell them to Caribbean Federation. They can still be useful. They indeed can still be useful. Do we get them here? Yes, we do. Reserve fleet's over here, I believe. Yeah. There we go. Okay, I'm being shouted, so I shall be right back.